The sport of cricket is often said to be at a little bit of a crossroads. That is, despite the fact that you have a lot of bilateral action still taking place, and pretty much every year players host to at least one major ICC tournament. But the simple fact of the matter is that the ever-growing threat of T20 leagues has actually taken over and become very much a fear that could be very real, not just in the foreseeable future, but as of right now. However, that's not to say that every single board will roll over and take things without giving up a bit of a fight, and that's exactly what the England Cricket Board have done, because they've come up with a new and interesting concept that should, in theory, ensure that a lot of their top players don't necessarily get lured away by the easy money of T20 franchise leagues. So what exactly is this new system? How exactly will it work? What do the players think about it? That's all of the things and more that we'll talk about in this particular video. So let's start with the first part of that question. What is the ECB's new way to combat this menace of T20 leagues coming and scooping up the best players, potentially taking them away from the international game forever? It's simple. They have come up with a concept to offer multi-year central contracts as opposed to the current system wherein, and it's a common practice across boards, that they will only offer one-year deals. The ECB have said no, we're going to be offering multi-year deals instead. So most of these multi-year deals will be for 2 years instead of the usual let's say length of 1 year. And the reason it's happening is very simple. The ECB, perhaps more than any other, has seen the threat of T20 leagues the world over taking over the game as one that's very real, because lest we forget, Jofra Archer was one of those players who was reportedly being targeted by the Mumbai Indians on a year-long contract, if not more, to be playing for all of their franchises that they own the world over. Another player who was incidentally linked to a deal like this was Jos Buttler, the current England T20 and ODI captain. So you can understand why it is they're taking such a step to actually safeguard, let's say, their interests. Few more interesting details about these contracts. So there are about 26 deals that the ECB will be offering, which are similar in nature, which is up from the current, let's say, number, where there's about 18 deals and a few incremental deals. And the incremental deals, incidentally, also are playing a bit of a role in this, because Jason Roy was one player who was offered an incremental deal, and he's one who, with his international fortune seemingly on the, let's say, downturn, could very well be one of those players who leaves the ECB central contract system and becomes a gun for hire. But of these deals, the 26 deals, 20 of them are multi-year deals. So that is interesting to note. And in fact, to make things better, some of those deals are actually 3-year contracts. So not even 2 years. There's a number of deals for the top English players that are for 3 years. Now, if you're wondering who these players are, I'll tell you some of the names, and let's just say they won't surprise you at all. 3 of the players who we know are going to be offered these deals are Ben Stokes, Harry Brook, and Mark Wood. Again, all 3 of these names should not surprise you. Ben Stokes has recently made a comeback to ODIs, which means that he is at this very moment an all-format player and also an important player for England in red ball cricket, given he's their test captain and also at the forefront of the baseball revolution that has absolutely changed the way that England play test cricket. Harry Brook, again, is someone who's young but whose aggressive batting style not only fits well with baseball but also England's aggressive approach in white ball cricket, and many are touting him as England's next great all-format batter. Mark Wood, again, one of those guys who can ramp it up consistently to 150 kilometers per hour, and someone who again does play across formats and is very, very effective at what it is that he does. They do say that there's no substitute for pure pace, and that's evident every time you see Wood bowl, which would make him an asset to any T20 team if they are able to get him on a multi-year contract or even a 1-year contract to play all the year round. Which is why, as I said, these names as well as a few others, it shouldn't really be that shocking. But all of this seems good from the board's perspective if you're looking at it from there, because that way they get to tie up their assets to longer term deals, give them that added security, and potentially stave away the threat, at least for a short term, if not necessarily the long term, of a lot of these players defecting and actually giving up their international careers for the riches of franchise leagues. But what do the players think about it? Well, one player who has spoken in favor of it is current England opener Ben Duckett. He said that I think it's great that they're offering these contracts the security of players wanting to keep playing for England is perfect. And to be fair, he does go on to add saying that for a lot of players, the playing for the badge or had pride of getting to play for England means a lot. But he also says that that security of players getting to keep playing for England, it's obviously a very, very good thing. Of course, he's just one player. There might be other players who feel differently, or some who are adopting a bit of a wait and watch approach. But how exactly is this going to work out in the future? As of yet, we don't really know, but what we can say is that it's a good step for now. But is it going to work on every single player? Are there going to be players who, despite the fact that they know will be playing for England, would still prefer to take the easier option and make a lot more money by playing leagues the world over? Maybe a Ben Duckett is happy, but is a Jofra Archer, who we know at this point is unlikely to be playing Test cricket at least in the foreseeable future, will he be happy with a limited role, or would he think, okay, look, I've had multiple injuries, may as well just take the easier route, earn more money, play T20 leagues the world over? It's a better option. Ben Stokes too, mind you, is someone who doesn't have that much mileage left. He will be playing the ODI World Cup purely as a batter and will then be undergoing knee surgery. It's doubtful how good or bad he comes out beyond that surgery, but again, let's see. As I said, this is something that you'll only be able to know in the long term whether it has any effects, but I will give kudos to the ECB for trying out something new to ensure that their best players are available to play international cricket, which, despite whatever T20 leagues might tell you, is still the form of cricket that most people enjoy watching. What are your thoughts though on the ECB's radical new step to ensure that their players stay available for international cricket? You guys can let us know that in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, leave us a comment, follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Don't forget to download the SportsTak app, and if you're already on the channel, go right ahead and check out some other videos that we've done. For now though, from my side, it is goodbye.